Hi everyone, I'm Morgan Wells, Curator of Education here at the Tucson Museum of Art, and welcome to our virtual Second Sundays. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about paper weaving. Here's my example. I'm going to show you how to do this. So, first what you will need is construction paper. You can use any color you'd like. This is going to be my base color, and then you're going to also need strips of paper. And I cut my strips of paper on the short end, so I cut them along here. You could do it opposite if you like, but that way they fit my paper perfectly. So I'm going to weave it up this way. So you're going to cut them like they're almost on top of each other. So you'll cut this way. All right. So you'll also need scissors and a glue stick. You can cut your strips by hand. You can use a paper cutter. You can make them any thickness you want. I did them a little thicker today so you can see what I'm doing. But you can get real detailed in this project if you cut them really thin and tiny. But that's up to you and how comfortable you feel with weaving. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it on the long side in half. Like so. Make sure my corners line up, and then press to fold. So you have it folded in half, kind of like a card, or a book that you would open up. And now what you want to do is along the folded edge, so this edge right here, we're going to cut them in lengths, but we're only going to take it to just before the end of the paper. You don't want to cut it all the way through. If you cut it all the way through, then you're cutting your piece of paper and we can't weave with it. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you take it, you're going to take it, you're going to cut it, and cut it as far as you like. So maybe about there. See, as you can see, it's not cut all the way through. And you're going to continue to make cuts along. They don't have to be perfect unless, you want them to be. Actually, you can even make them like wavy if you like. If you really want to get adventurous with your paper weaving, you can do that, but you don't need to. I would say if this is your first time doing it, go ahead and just cut them straight. And the more you get comfortable, the more adventurous you can get. And you can kind of see that some of them are not like lining up perfectly. That's okay, You can just try to get as close as possible to the same stopping point at the end. And these you can make any thickness you want. You can make them thicker, you can make them thinner. Obviously, I'm making them about a little under an inch thick here. That's going to make it easier. The thicker they are, probably the easier it will be. The thinner, the more difficult. And I'll show you what that means here in a few minutes while I finish up cutting. All right. So I'm done. And now I'm going to unfold it. And you can see there's all my cuts that I've made. And that's going to be our base. So kind of like my purple is here. I used purple here, so now I'm going to use green. And I only have 3 color strips of paper. You can use as little amounts of color. I just have, since I cut on my last example, I had a lot left over, so I'm going to use what I had left over. But I have yellow, blue, and orange. And you can make any design. You can do a repeating pattern. You can make a rainbow color if you like. Whatever colors you like, your favorite colors, do whatever you like. Anyway, so starting with my first strip, as you can see, I'm actually going to take this, and the first one I'm going to go over it, and then the second one I'm going to go under it, and then I'm just going to repeat that through. So over, under, over, under, over, under, and I'm going to keep going through until the end. So just remember, you're going to go opposite, over, under, until you get to the end. And then you're going to push it all the way to the ends of your cuts, like so. I have it at the top, but you can kind of see it goes, so it's over this reverse cut, then under this second cut, over, under, so just try to remember it goes every other. And so I have it, and I have it moved up as much as I can to the top of the cuts of paper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of glue to make it stay, and so it doesn't fall out. I'm going to glue the ends. So what I'm going to do is kind of put a little bit of glue on this green paper right here. And all you need is just a little bit, and just push it down so it doesn't budge. So that it doesn't move. And if you don't have glue, you can use tape. Or if you only have white glue, you can use that as well. Just use like a small amount. There you go. Now I'm going to take my second color, orange. And as you can see, I went over on this first one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go under. So it is the opposite. Do you see how that looks? So I went over on this one. Now the second one I'm going to go under and then go over, under, over, under. Same like I did with that first one, but it's opposite of what you did with your first one. So it kind of, you'll see the green here, instead you'll see the green here. And so that's what creates this weaving pattern. So you want to be opposite of what you did your first one. And if you get confused, just look, okay, did I start over on the first one or did I start under? So this is over. And if you start weaving and it looks the exact same, you could start over and pull it back out and, do the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and weave that all the way through. And then I'll pull it up, and you can kind of see how it's opposite. And I'm going to push it up as much as I can to rest against that yellow, and I'm going to glue the ends again. So you just have to remember opposite, and then over and under, over, under. So there you go. I have my two glued. And let me just show you one more. So here I'm showing you the back side because I think we were on this side. So I started under on this one, right? So now I want to take it and I want to go over with my blue, over that first green, then under the second, over, under, over, under, over, under, until the end. Oop. And as you can see, right here, I skipped one. So I made a mistake. Or if you like that, you can keep it. It's not necessarily a mistake. So I'm going to pull back out here and come back through and get underneath that one. So it's easy if you seem to have skipped one or don't like the way it's looking, you can go back. And I think I did it again. See? Right here. So I'm going to pull it back out and go through. And actually I'm going to sit this down so this way I don't miss one. And then I'm going to push it up against the orange. So I'm just pulling it down like so and just kind of moving it to set up against the orange, like so. And then here you are on the other side. So what you'll do, and actually I'm going to glue this first before we continue on. So I have my first 3 done. And what you're going to do is continue with your strips of paper. You're going to continue to weave them until you fill the whole green area, until you can fit the last one in. Let me show you my example here. And as you can see, there's like a little bit of room there. I could probably get a skinny piece if I wanted to, but I was doing thicker pieces, so you don't have to do that. So this is what you'll end up with, is something that looks like this. So if you decide to weave or make your lines little, a little wave-like, they will look a little different. If you do skinnier, you're of course going to get more tiny strips going in and out. But whatever you like, size-wise, it will create something different. And of course, whatever colors you use, and then you have a woven paper. So that's what you end up with. A fun idea is you can actually laminate this and use it as a placemat or an activity mat, something like that, to keep it longer. Or just hang it up on your wall like this. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed making art with me today, and hopefully we see you all soon here at the museum, and come and visit us. Hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Thanks. Bye.